Okay. Sorry, folks. I was on the other my tablet because well, good morning, everyone. That was a very, very, very bad. It wasn't looking good at all. That was something that I was trying to do to say that when I woke up this morning, I definitely seen uh, something that just really just kind of just shook me up. And me thinking about this guy Donald Trump living the life that he lived because he got all this money and everything, but still all the same. The United States of America system should not have allowed him to even run as a president of the United States. Because if that's the case, so can I. Because he has all types of foul involvements in his past. Things that we should not even want him to be. No, I mean, not us. The system should have never allowed him to stick his big foot inside of the Oval Office. But that's no here or there. He is still sitting there in the White House. And he is still as slimy of a snake as he always have been. And the reason why I'm on here and I'm talking about that is because, some of the things, that I be seeing on television about this guy, I just cannot understand it. How was he allowed to even run? Access Hollywood showed a picture of him that should have stopped him right in his tracks. The whole country should have been crying bloody murder. No, we cannot have this rapist, this womanizer, this cheat, this crook. And that's not everything. To even think about running as a president of the United States of America. But our country did. They allowed him to do it. And the people that support him still think that he is the answer. Because if God did not want him there, he would not be there. Yeah, okay. God did not want Adam and Eve to eat the forbidden fruit. But they did, didn't they? So that garbage about lying on my father, it's got to stop. God gave us all the freedom to choose as what we want to. So, it's not God's fault that we have the devil in the White House. God's children put him there. God didn't. We seen what type of man he was before he even got nominated. We knew what type of slime ball he was before he even got elected. But then this guy right here who's on the screen talking to you, this little black guy right here, steals a pound of hamburger. And my life has been ruined. Why would you think that might be? Could it be because Satan seen me coming? Do you think it might have been because I am not the devil's friend? You see, we fail to realize, to understand that this is in our hands. And that we are the ones to, how they say, Shakespeare said it most elegantly, to be or not to be. That is the question. To be the devil's tool or not to be the devil's tools. To be the consciousness of God, to be the hands of God, to be the mouth of God, or not to be. But it appears as if in this world today that everybody chooses to go the other way and live by the adversary's rules and regulations instead of our Father God's commandments and his dedication. We know that we have the gift, we have the freedom to do as what we please. But then we will still say, maybe this is what God wanted. Don't do that. We are the ones that God put here to do his will, not ours. And this is what's been taking place in this world for quite some time. Abraham argued with God about destroying Solomon and Gomorrah, the city of Solomon and Gomorrah. And he asked and he questioned, he worked it all the way down to just a couple of people. He did not want God to do what God knew what was the only thing that he should do. God told Adam and Eve not to eat from the forbidden tree. But they did. Jonah was supposed to go and tell the people of this particular tribe or village, town, whatever it was, that God said, straighten up, or you would see his wrath. But instead, from Jonah's his own resentments towards these people, he wanted to try to run instead of doing as what God told him to do. Now, is this what's going on in this world today? Do we still have a lot of Adams and Eves? Do we still have a lot of Abrahams that want to talk God down? Do we still have Jonah who wants to act like a clown and run from God? Is this what we have in this world today? A whole bunch of people denying themselves when they know a better way. To try and to go against God's will. And cater to the serpent's children. And we know who these demonic forces are. We know that they ain't no good. But we'll support them anyway. We know they can't stop. They just cannot stop. Doing things that will harm others. Doing things that we know is not of God. So, now, as I was saying before, all I have is one thing on my bucket list, and that is to publish my book. I have the people. We have the people in this town that could be right there to back me up and see to me getting this book out, to tell my story that needs to be told. My story is about the characteristics of the adversary and the areas in which that we can find him. Now, information like this, who would be the actual entities that would not would not like to see this book to surface? It wouldn't be our Father God, definitely. If it's something damaging to the adversary, who would stop? Who would try to stop it from surfacing? Doesn't, don't that sound like that could have been something of the adversary? But see, we are so close-minded these days. We are so reluctant to understand that we could be a part of the devil's hand. Or we can be the consciousness of God. So, not like a number of my associates, my people that I have grew up with that are living comfortable lives today in their retirement years, comfortable home, car, children all around them, grandchildren. No. I cannot, and it will not happen because of where I am at in this existence. So, I cannot have the support of my children today. I cannot receive the type of support of my people today. All along the way, me coming up in life, the devil has possessed everyone around me to keep me from being successful. But then, all along at the same time, while I was in the process of trying to strengthen my life in this society, no matter what I done, no matter what I tried to do, everyone was on the devil's side and said, David, it is not true. You're not trying to do anything. But all along, ask them, how do they remember me? Yeah, I remember David walking through town with a briefcase. But at the same time, while I was walking around with that briefcase, I was not, as far as anybody else was concerned, looking for work. Oh, yeah. They remember. They remember me walking around town with the briefcase. And I would not stop to play games all through the morning and all the way up until it was time to quit. My job was trying to find a job. Unsuccessfully. And every time I did get my foot in the door, it wasn't no more than a year, the longest that I've ever stayed. Except for one job. And they don't exist anymore. Called Cal Graphics over on Ransom. I stayed with them for 5 years. And it was singing as if with those 5 years I would have been able to receive some type of severance pay. I'm sure there was others that did find their way to have severance pay. Yes, this is the way it's been, my friend. But this does not have to continue to be. For me, King David D, to continue to live in agony, facing the reflections of the images in my road and time, seeing all my ins and my outs to love and peace of mind. I know my key is just up ahead, to whereupon I will find my home in which I'll make my bed. But until I finally make it there, my collective thoughts are all in my prayers. Pieces of dreams of how it was, how it is, and how it will be. If I can sustain control up over my heart, I will sustain control of me. But if I can somehow sustain control of love, I will sustain my destiny. This is King David D. Come on here today again to say that I love you. Do you love me?